Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Masoor Dal Tadka recipe. It is really easy and simple to make. It really goes well with plain white basmati rice and paratha. As always, the completed recipe can be found on my blog hungryforgoodies.com. So let's jump to the recipe. I'll start off by taking about 3/4 cup of Masoor Dal, which is basically split lentils without the skin. It is in a reddish orangey color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse this really nicely until the water turns really clear. I'm not going to soak this prior cooking because the lentils get soft really quickly. So I'm just going to add just enough water to my pan. I don't really measure it. I just make sure the water is doubled amount of the dal, so I do a 1:2 ratio. So once I've done that, I'm going to place the lentils on the flame and I'm going to add 4 cloves of garlic. I'm also going to season it with a teaspoon of salt. You can add as much as you like. And then I'm also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder and some turmeric powder just to give it a little bit of color. Next, I'm taking a small piece of this chicken stock cube. This is totally an optional part. If you don't want to add this, you can skip it. I just want to give my dal a bit of that chicken flavor. So I'm going to mix this well and I'm going to let the dal cook until it starts boiling. Once it starts boiling, I'm going to turn the heat to low and I'm going to cover this with its lid and let it cook for at least 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm heating a bit of oil and frying a small tomato finely chopped. I'm mashing it nicely and frying it for a couple of minutes. Alternatively, you can add fresh tomatoes directly to your dal without frying it, but I find that this step makes the dal really tasty. I'm giving this a good stir and I'm going to cover it and let this simmer on low heat for another 10 minutes. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for my dal, I like to prepare my onion for the tadka. So here I have a very small onion. I'm just peeling off its skin and cutting this in half and slicing it really finely. Back to my dal, it has been cooking for a total of 20 minutes. You can clearly see that some of the lentils are still fully intact and it's quite thin in consistency and watery. So that means the dal is not done yet. It needs another 5 to 7 minutes of cooking. So after 5 minutes, you will see that the dal has thickened and the lentils are fully mashed. Just because I think my dal is a bit thick, I am adding a bit more of water. This is totally optional. If you prefer your dal to be thick, you can skip this part. So I'm going to keep the dal in a very low flame and start preparing the tadka. In a small pan, I'm adding some oil and a teaspoon of cumin seeds. And next I'm adding the onions which I've sliced earlier. I'm going to let this fry for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm going to make sure it turns golden brown before adding it to my dal. Once it turns golden brown, I'm going to place this immediately in my prepared dal, and this is the fun part, it will start to sizzle. So I'm going to give this a good stir, and then what's left to do is add 1/4 of teaspoon of garam masala and some freshly chopped coriander leaves. I'm going to give this a good stir and the dal is basically done. So the dal is ready. As you can see, it looks heavenly good and super delicious. This is one of my favorite dal amongst all the dal, and I really like to eat it with rice, but you can serve it with even roti or a paratha. I hope you give this recipe a try because making dal is really simple and it's quite healthy and really delicious. I hope you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would like to say a big thanks to everyone who has been supporting me since I started. As always, follow me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and I shall see you on my next one. Bye!